Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here with Life as a Shonen. If you are enjoying the content in our channel, don't forget to like our videos and go ahead and subscribe. Alright guys, this week we are bringing to you the latest edition of the Metal Tie-Ins featuring all the different versions of the evil Batman. And this week's issue is Batman the Drowned. Now, if you have listened to our other videos, you probably know by now I'm not the biggest fan of Aquaman, but I actually have been looking forward to this issue. Darth Mamba has been trying to tell me that Aquaman is a little cooler than I think he is, and this is a great opportunity to actually find out if he is or isn't, but he's not. So we actually open up the issue a little different than the other ones. Normally in the other issues, you get the evil Batman's backstory, then the invasion of our Earth. But in this issue, we actually open up with the invasion itself. The Drowned is actually seen swimming up towards the surface. She remarks that the only world she's ever known sinks into the darkness below her forever, as does the only love she's ever known, which is a man named Sylvester. At this point, you don't know who Sylvester is, but it will be revealed later on, but we'll get into that later. Already, you get to see a little difference in the motivation of the Drowned versus all the other iterations of evil Batman. The Drowned focuses on Batman's obsessive nature, and that if not held in check, very easy for him to sink into the darkness and use whatever means necessary to make sure the places he protects stay protected. She even notes at the end of this obsession, it consumed her. It was like trying to tread water in the cold while you're completely exhausted. It's better just to go ahead and drown. After she breaks to the surface, she is met with Amnesty Bay. She remarks that the light hurts her eyes and she is not used to it. Most of her time is spent in the depths of the ocean, the darkness. Her eyes are not adapted to the normal light, but it's not just that. This place itself offends her. This is our multiverse, where worlds are not doomed to die. The very nature of that information offends her. This existence of this good multiverse is the very reason why her world died. No matter what she did, no matter how far obsession took her, there wasn't anything she could do. Until she met the Batman who laughs. And he did what he did best and offered her a chance to wash all of her failures away and start anew once again. She spent most of her life fighting to make the world a better place. Sadly for her, it was a very futile experience. She thought she could do it. You know, Batman, I haven't decided if he's arrogant or not yet, but he's very confident in his abilities. Same goes for the Drowned. She thought her goal was achievable, thought she had the means with which to save her world, but she was wasting her time, because her world could never possibly be redeemed because it's doomed to die. You get to see more of the manipulation from the Batman who laughs, telling her that it's not her fault. She didn't fail. It's the light's fault. It's that multiverse up there that shines like a beacon that your world is the way it is. That world prospers, your world dies. Good things happen there, horrible things happen here. As she looks upon Amnesty Bay, she uses her abilities to bring a gigantic tidal wave, which completely washes out Amnesty Bay, sinks it into water in an instant. And it's kind of ironic that the city is named Amnesty Bay. She views it as an amnesty for herself, a chance to rid her failures and replace them with something good. She almost feels as if she's owed this. After sinking Amnesty Bay, we're finally revealed that, and I didn't know this at first, I actually had to look it up, apparently this universe, all the gender roles are reversed. This Batman is a woman, Aquaman is a female. It doesn't really go too much further than that, but I'm assuming for all other characters, genders are reversed. Her name is not Bruce Wayne, it's actually Bryce Wayne. As she's walking through the streets of Amnesty Bay while it's underwater, she is then met with the arrival of Aquaman and Mera. But this does not surprise her at all. And once again, it's Batman. She knows something's going to try and stop her, but as far as she's concerned, it's going to be a futile effort. Like all the other Batmen, she has dealt with these people before. Instantly, Aquaman charges her to the attack, asking her, why did she just do this? What would ever cause you to sink an entire city under the ocean? And already I start to enjoy the issue because no matter what Aquaman and Mera do, Bryce can do it better. He charges in, but she notes that he is too slow. He attacks, and she says he is too weak. Then you have Mera break out her aquakinesis, but it's pointless against Bryce. The very water that Mera is trying to control is ruled by Bryce. There's nothing she can do. It's essentially nullifying aquakinesis. I don't know if this is because he can control the molecules of water or that his aquakinesis is actually more powerful than hers, but it's a moot point. She's unstoppable. In the land where Aquaman and Mera do the best, they are nothing to Bryce. Aquaman actually sneaks behind her and begins to attack Bryce with his trident. She knows he's there, though, but it doesn't matter. You'll come to find out later on, but she has faced many, many Atlanteans before and killed every single one of them. And with that, we start to get the backstory of Bryce. Apparently in her world, her love's name is Sylvester. It's actually Sylvester Kyle. So it's Catwoman, but the male version of Catwoman. He had been killed by meta-human villains, and Bryce had spent her time hunting those villains down, bringing them to justice, and right when she had finished, you had the appearance of the Atlanteans. We know Bruce, and Bryce is exactly the same. She's extremely paranoid. She does not trust the Atlantean. In her eyes, since Sylvester was taken down by metahumans, the Atlanteans are just that to her. More metahumans. More threats appearing before her, and no one sees them for that except for Bryce. They claim to come in peace. And, I mean, really, I think they probably did come in peace at first, but Bryce's gut instinct, which she trusts above everything, told her that the Atlanteans were enemies. So that's what they ended up becoming. Sure enough, the peace talks collapsed into violence, and you now had Bryce waging war against the Atlanteans. They were untrustworthy invaders, and that's all they were. Don't need to see them as people, they're just animals for the slaughter. And she does just that. She redefines what vicious is to try and show the Atlanteans, you need to turn back. If you face me, I'm going to wipe out every single thing that you love. And she takes out female Aquaman in one hit. She takes her trident and just shoves it through Aquawoman's stomach. And in that instant, it's already over. But this kind of backfires on her. Normally in strategy, if you take the head, the body cannot operate as it normally would. Killing Aquawoman should subdue the Atlanteans and stop them from doing their invasion. But it does exactly the opposite. It enrages them. In their response, they sent gigantic tidal waves, which submerged Gotham underwater. And I think this is the point where where Bryce actually breaks. She was still there to protect Gotham. She was waging war against the Atlanteans to do so. And she failed miserably. And it's her fault. She caused all of this to happen by killing their queen. The deaths of Gotham are on her hands. And she knows that. Deep inside of her consciousness, she understands that. But she tries to act like this is just the price of waging war. Sacrifices had to be made. It was wartime. This is just what happened. So she began to adapt her body in preparation to continue to fight the Atlanteans and stop their ruthless aggression. She modified herself to be able to breathe underwater so that she could fight on their terms. She mutated her own DNA to give her accelerated healing, control of water itself, as well as engineering an army to fight by her side. I had to look this up because I wasn't really sure what dead water was, but apparently it's almost like a virus, I guess. It can infect you almost like a zombie, and it takes out anything that tries to harm you indiscriminately. What makes this thing so dangerous is it's infectious. It doesn't matter who it is. If the dark water gets to you, you're going to be one of her minions, and that's frightening. Now, at first, her descent into the darkness worked. She erased all of the Atlanteans, and from what I can tell in the panel, she came to rule over Atlantis in Aquaman's stead, or in Aquawoman's stead. This was her world now, and instead of Atlanteans, it was full of these dead water entities. She had to pay a very heavy price for this victory, though. To be able to take down the Atlanteans, she had to lose the entire world. Everything is underwater, and she refers to it as her drowned world. It's her kingdom. A new way of life for the victors. So to show them that this era was going to be more than what the other one was, she sends out the bat signal in the ocean as a beacon of light, a signal of hope and victory, the only light left in this world. Except one day, the signal felt dark. She went to go to repair the signal and was met with the Batman Who Laughs. I love the manipulation of the Batman Who Laughs. It's like, you know, he is Bruce himself, you know, we all know that. But he knows his weaknesses. He knows what's going on with these different Batmen and how exactly to manipulate them. He knows that Bryce doesn't trust anyone but herself. The best way to get Bryce on his side is to let her know that she can trust him because he is her. And I think that that Bryce is extremely guilty inside about what has happened. She went too far. You know, like Icarus flying towards the sun, she got too close to it, and it tainted her, and she lost everything. and it's no one's fault but her own. And he presents her with a chance to redo everything, to have a place where she could actually fix everything, a place where it's not doomed to die, where everything she does not end up in failure as it has before. Finally, she would have a world that flourishes. All she has to do is side with Barbados. Think of drowning, he says. It's active and passive. Do not be the victim who drowns. Don't sink with all the rest. You're not like them. You're better than that. Be active. Rise up, reclaim the light, and be the one who does the drowning. With that, we return to Earth Zero, back to the action of Bryce fighting Aquaman and Mera. And Mera and Aquaman have nothing for Bryce. Like I said before, anything they can do, she can do many, many times better. Up until this point, she hasn't brought about the dead water to fight them yet. Well, her next move is to do just that. She opens a conduit and brings forth her dark army to fight by her side. Mera instantly realizes that what she is using is the dead waters. They need to get out of here. It's a losing situation. From what I read, merely existing in the dead water is enough to turn you into one of her minions. As the demons, I guess you can call them demons, are starting to overwhelm Arthur, he tells Mera, get out of here. You need to go tell the Justice League what's going on here. It's a lost cause. I'll stay back here, hold her off. You get to them. And right before she can take off, Bryce grabs her by the throat, tells her, you're not going anywhere. And this is the best part of the entire comic. As she's holding Mera by the throat, she lets the dark water start to consume Mera. And you have a couple panels where Mera's face in the first panel appears normal, but progressively and slowly, the virus starts to take over her body, and she becomes a minion of Bryce. I don't know if that means she's dead or just infected, but instantly she goes at Arthur. And Arthur's being held down. There's nothing Arthur can do. He screams in despair, and Bryce knows that feeling. She knows what it's like to lose the person you love. She remarks that almost sympathetically, oh, not really. Not really sympathetically, but in another second he's going to be dead. The pain's not going to last forever. Better for him to exist in that way than to be what Bryce had to be. Constantly thinking about her failures and remembering that moment, further corrupting her and causing her to do worse and worse things to make it better, while all the while she's only making it worse. She wishes that she died a few seconds after Sylvester. And the moment before Mera is going to take Aquaman's life, Dr. Fate's symbol appears and stops Mera from being able to get to Aquaman. Summons him into the symbol itself, which takes him to the bar where all the other superheroes have been whisked away to, the only safe place in their universe. I don't really know why they don't know who Dr. Fate is. Maybe in all of their worlds there is no Dr. Fate. I'll have to research a little more into that. But she remarks she wonders where it took him. But she's not worried about it. He's alive, and wherever he's gone, he has to live with the pain of losing Mera. And for Bryce, that's all she needs. Because this whole time, it's going to be torturous for Aquaman to live with this knowledge that he couldn't save Mera. That she was taken so easily from him, and he was powerless. And after all that torture, then Bryce will show up and bring to him death. And after the death, she will bring the fate of her world to ours. She's going to drown everything. And you can trust her on that. And that's it for the issue this week. Normally, we would be bringing you some afterthoughts right after the synopsis. But Darth Mama and I have been able to convince Albert 3G to start reading the new Batman story arc. And he's actually become a fan of it. So I think later on today we're going to do a co-op video. And we'll be releasing the afterthoughts in their own video this time. And don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the content that we're bringing you, go ahead and like this video and subscribe because we're going to keep on bringing you a lot more good stuff. I'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.